Welcome back to Under the Matrix, Part 3. My name is Brenda. I work in public programming at the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. Now, for the last few weeks, I have been working on a fossil turtle that was found in the big muddy badlands of Saskatchewan. And I've been slowly preparing it to get it ready for the one side to be able to be plastered, and so we can flip it over and I can work on the other side of the shell. Now we're just on the final stages of getting all the prep done on the one side. And then I'm going to ask for the assistance of my talented husband, Wes Long, who is also the curatorial assistant of paleontology. All right, so I've done about as much as I can on this side of the turtle. I removed a lot of the matrix. You can see from all the way around the turtle here. And down here I did a test area, scraping through that matrix to see how far I had to go to reach fossil, and it leaves the fossil turtle quite thin in this area. As you can see right here, there isn't any at all. We want to be able to safely flip this turtle over so we can work on the other side. So I'm going to leave some of this matrix on to help secure the fossil.
Okay, this is the little turtle that Brenda's been working on, and I'm going to use the surgical cast cutter to trim down some of this excess plaster bandage here before we plaster this side. So I have a sandbag here to absorb some of the vibration from the cast cutter, and this is the same kind of cast cutter that's used for removing casts from a broken arm, things like that. So just to get the paper towel. This is just to take care of, to make sure that we don't get a whole bunch of plaster dust in the part that's already been worked on. So this thing does vibrate a bit and makes a bit of a noise. So I'm going to put in some earplugs. Okay, and here we go. Get it ready to plaster. So one thing we got to do first, there's some undercuts in here, and we have to stuff those with tissue paper, because once the plaster goes on, if you have an undercut, it'll lock the support cradle in and you won't be able to get it off. So we'll just give that a quick little pack with some tissue paper. Okay, and next I'm going to put a layer of plastic wrap over this, and it'll just make it easier to separate. And then from here, we will put on a layer of paper towel. And one of the rules of plastering, or one of the things that always happens whenever you want to plaster something, the wind picks up. So this will make it nice and tight against the fossil. The water just makes it cling a bit better. Okay, now we're going to mix up our plaster. Just have water in our mixing tub here, and just shake the plaster in. Here, just want to add some more. Start mixing this up. Get all the lumps worked out of it. A nice creamy consistency. Okay, next step, burlap strips. We're gonna bandage this up just like you would a broken arm. Same principle. Want it nice and tight to the bone. This is what's called a support cradle. We want to crisscross the layers so it makes for a stronger cradle. Any excess we'll trim off with the cast cutter. That's it.
All right, now we'll let it dry in the sun.
Made a support cradle for it, which I've removed because when we flipped it over, the original cradle field jacket would not separate. So what has happened is during the preparation process on this, because the shell is so thin, constantly saturating it with glue, and the glue is soaked through and adhered the shell to the original plaster jacket. So what we have to do is put her barrier back in, put the new support cradle back on, flip it over, and we're going to have to saturate this part of the jacket, the old jacket, with some water to try and soften it up so we can remove it more safely.
This is how things go sometimes with fossil preparation. The fossil really does dictate how things will go. Unfortunately, we're not going to have the jacket open this time, but make sure you check in with part 4 of Under the Matrix, and hopefully we'll have a successful opening of the plaster jacket and we'll be able to reveal the other side of the turtle. And make sure you keep following us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for all other updates. Oh, and one word of advice, I wouldn't play catch with a T-Rex.